Wydek here again, this time with a set of replays from the 2013 Russian Star League tournament. And these games are from the round of 16, and this time on Stranglewood Mire, we've got in the bottom left, representing Korea and Startale, we've got Bomber. And his opponent in the bottom right, spawning as the red Zerg. From the Ukraine, we've got Team Acer's Bly. And Stranglewood Mire is a very strange map, very rarely played. It is a quirky map in some ways, and just to highlight some of them, for example, this is the natural expansion for both players. That's Bomber's and this is Bly's. But if you take a look at this location, because of Bomber's position, his natural is actually closer to Bly's main. So if Bly wants to do drops, it's a lot easier to get to here. And that's just a small little difference. Might not play that much of a role in this map. Bomber is the favorite. Koreans generally are. And he'll be opening up with the barracks on the high ground. Only cross? I don't know. Ooh, all spawns. So Bomber's just checking, is this a cross spawn map? And apparently not. And Bly is going for the spawning pool first. And because he sent his Overlord here first, if he's able to see the Terran SCV quick enough, or some Terran structure, Bly could do a rush with some Zerglings if he really wanted to. But generally, Zergling rushes are basically a tactic of the past. They're not very effective anymore, especially against Terrans. Once they, put supply depots and buildings on top of the ramp, Zerglings cannot gain access. And Bly is going to find Bomber's starting position, and Bomber's actually going for the CC on the low ground. And with no bunker and no reactor, this is a very dangerous play, as if Bly, he's going to get some Zerglings up now. He's also going for the Roach Warren on a single hatchery. This looks like Bly is going to be going for a Roach timing. Two Zerglings are here. The SCV is going to be able to find Bly's location. Bly is microing very well, trying to prevent that SCV from scouting. The SCV was not even able to find out whether or not there was an expansion hatchery, and that is vital if Bly wants to make this Roach timing work. Bomber does have a couple of Marines now, but that's still not a lot of units. The Marines should be able to hold off these two Zerglings, as they're just going to slowly dance away, and they're going to hang out here in the middle of these two ramps. At the same time, Zergling speed is coming down, as well as 3 Roaches, and I've never seen a timing attack like this with Roaches and 1 hatchery. 7 Roaches on the way, and with only 3 Marines on the ramp, this is going to be very, very difficult for Bomber to hold. Behind this, he's finally getting a factory, but by the time that factory finishes, it's not going to matter that much, because there's going to be 4 more Roaches in addition to these 3. And although Roaches do fire very slowly, they are very effective against Marines. They have lots of armor, and they do significant damage, and here they are skittering across the map. I find it interesting that Bly is going to go with this build. He's also building Zerglings behind this. He's got 10 more Zerglings behind this, so this is basically all in, it looks like. He has no second hatchery. If the attack doesn't do significant damage, I don't think Bly is going to be able to do too much. Bomber is expecting something coming in. He's moved all his Marines away and has blocked off the ramp with supply depots. The bunker is going to complete, but there are no Marines. And these Roaches are going to go up the ramp. They're going to fire down on these SCVs. Marines in the back do have a better range. And so the Marines can kite if they're microed very well. The reactor looks like it's going to go down. Yes, it does. 1 Roach does finally explode. The secondary bunker does finally go up. And now the Roaches are stuck. The Roaches are going to try and move in here. I'm not sure if this is a very good move by Bly. Zerglings are actually behind. The SCVs are all pulled behind the line. They're all engaging the roaches. Roaches and Zerglings are fighting off the SCVs. These Marines are getting significant damage done on all these roaches. The mine does kill 3 Zergling units as well. And now the SCVs are going to be able to entrap that last roach. And it doesn't look like that was a very successful attack. Resources lost is very even, but you have to remember, at the same time, Bomber does have his orbital already set up, and Bly is just getting his expansion hatchery up. It's not even halfway done, so Bly is very behind, and this SCV from Bomber is going to be able to spot this. Able to see the timing of that hatchery, and now Bomber looks like he's going to be the one that has the advantage. We've got a couple Zerglings on the side here, but Bly is going to retreat with them temporarily at the moment. At the same time, he is getting an extractor, but like I said before, he's very behind, even though the resources lost are even. Bomber just has his second base up. He also has the mules. He's getting a starport up as well, teching up and building more units. Bly, on the other hand, is just getting his second hatchery up. The second extractor is up as well, but other than the spawning pool and the roach warren, there are no evolution chambers, there are no baneling nests, and so the tech structures of the Zerg player is far behind. There's also no creep spread. Look at this. We're almost 9 minutes into the game, and the creep spread is non-existent. It's basically whatever the hatchery can provide. And I said baneling nest, and then Bly is going to put one up immediately. I think the only way Bly can win now is if he does a baneling roach timing, where he's able to basically cripple the economy of one or both bases of Bly. Other than that, I don't think Bly is going to have a chance to win. And the thing that makes, you know, a baneling timing really difficult to figure out is there are mines out, and Bly does know this. That's why he's microing these Zerglings very carefully. But it looks like 2 mines and 4 Marines are going to boost in that medevac. The Zerglings are going to come in here and notice that they're not dead yet. Can probably make a safe assumption the mines are gone. At the same time, Bly is going to move across the map with the roaches and the Zerglings, while Bomber is going to dump off 4 Marines and 2 medevacs at the main of Bly's. Bly does not have a spine or a spore crawler up yet. The spore is coming into play, but once those units drop, the spore crawler will not be very effective. The drones are going to circle here and surround those Marines, but got to be careful. That mine can get a devastating hit if it's not careful. Able to get 9 drone kills and 13 drone kills off 2 mine hits, and that is a huge loss for Bly. Bomber must be dancing in the streets, or he would be if he wasn't at the computer right now. But those were great connections by the mines, and now Bly is going to come in here with all the banelings and roaches. Mines able to not get good hits, unfortunately, for the Terran player. The banelings are coming in here, able to get rid of 2 of the bunkers, and going to force a lift off from the natural, and able to blow up a lot of supply depots and tech labs, and now Bly's Zerg units are swarming the bunkers. There are 2 bunkers on the high ground. There's also a Marauder hiding in one of them. Going to focus down on that bunker. Bly is going to retreat further into Bomber's base and try and do some economic damage. The bunkers are emptied, and now the Zerglings are going to come in for a flank attack, able to pick off some of the SCVs and the Marines. Roach is doing a lot of damage in the main base of Bomber. Look at the resources lost. It's just escalating for Bomber. Bomber is losing a lot more than the Zerg player. Bly is just rampaging in here. It's totally open at the ramp now, so all these Zergling reinforcements are able to directly harass the SCV and Harvester line. These mules are going down in a fury. At the same time, Bomber's got a Banshee out, and there is no anti-air, so eventually this will get cleaned up. But Bomber only has 21 minerals. He doesn't have enough to build an SCV. He's going to have to dump down some mules. And then Banshee does have 2 kills now. Now, Bly is in a very strong position compared to his Terran opponent. Even though he did lose 13 drones, he's got about double the supply of Bomber. And so Bomber's going to have to make something happen with this lone Banshee. Able to pick off one Zergling. I don't think that's exactly what Bomber was looking for. Able to pick off another one. Hey, whenever you can pick up free units, it's never a bad deal for you. Able to whack off 3 Zerglings here, but this Banshee from Bomber, excuse me, is going to have to do a lot more damage if Bomber wants to get back into this game. Resources are still 42 to 30, and Bomber was trying to mine from his natural, but now he's going to have to lift off again. These mines are going to blow up these Zerglings, finally. Able to get 4 kills. Great connection by that mine. Bomber was thinking maybe Bly had his third up, but no, he doesn't. But he is going to be getting his Spire up very soon, and this could spell the end of our Korean player if he doesn't detect this right away. There's not a lot of anti-air. There's only 5 Marines. Stim pack is not yet finished. And Bomber is going to continue mining from that natural again. And he really needs this. Look at the amount of minerals and gas he has. He's really far behind. Bly, on the other hand, is doing a lot better. He's droning up. But here comes the drop from Bly in conjunction with his lone Banshee. These Queens are going to retreat. 3 Overlords are going to go down. This is the 3rd one. And not going to pop yet. The Queens are here. And there it goes. And look at this. Now Bly is supply blocked with only 2 Queens and a few Zerglings. This Banshee is going to get destroyed by that Spore Crawler. But there are 8 Marines here. And even though they don't have stim, they don't have combat shields, they can still pack a wall up. And now they're going to get picked up by this medevac and boost away. Bomber has to be very careful here. There are Spore Crawlers at both bases. And so he's not going to be able to find a place to park this medevac and dump off those Marines. Behind this, remember, he has 3 orbitals, so the mule power is going to be able to give him a lot more resources than maybe Bly thinks he has. Bly's 3rd hatchery is almost complete, but he looks like he's going to have to withdraw here. Another Overlord is going to be destroyed. Resources loss is evening out quite nicely, especially in favor of Bomber. Bomber does have Stim Pack now. No combat shields. We have +1 air attack Zerg upgrades coming, and 5 Mutalisks are being constructed as well behind these 7. And so now we're going to have an old-fashioned Stim Marine versus Mutalist and Zergling fight, it looks like. The Zerglings are morphing into Banelings. The scan goes down to clean up some of the creep. These Banelings are not even half done. They're going to have to cancel. Bly is retreating further back into his base to get those Banelings into play. But now all these Overlords are going to get picked off. Supply blocked once again. Bly is in a horrible position now. He was strongly in the lead just a few moments ago, but now with all these Stim Marines, their DPS is so high, these Mutalisks cannot engage them directly. We've got the hatchery popping. We've got a lot of Zerglings and Broodlings, and the Mutalisks are going to try and engage these pack of Marines. The Marines are finally going to get engulfed, but the amount of resources lost for the Zerg player is now higher than Bomber's, so Bomber has been very efficient with his units. Great trading, able to take out that expansion at the natural, and now Bly is going to have to transfer his drones to his 3rd. So still 2 base on 2. And in a normal game, Zerg players want 1 more base than their Terran player, but this game has really not been that normal. After that initial timing, it's been kind of strange, and ever since then, it's kind of been a seesaw battle. But now we've got 9 Banelings rolling in here, but watch out for these mines. The mines are going to get great connections. 5 of the Banelings are blown up immediately, and the other 4 are useless. And there goes down the Manor Mule. And Bly is really behind now, even though the supply says they're about even. And it's not really that much of a Manor Mule because Bomber used the mule immediately to mine. So that's kind of a pseudo Manor Mule. But the game is not over yet. Bly is still behind, and he hasn't even constructed a hatchery at his natural either. So this Spore Crawler and Baneling Nest is going to be taking damage pretty soon from lack of creep. Oh my gosh. We've got how many of these Banelings are going to be completed? In this army, holy jeez, that's a lot of Banelings from Bly. We've got 26 Banelings. I think this is it. If this attack fails, I think it's going to be over. We've got no roaches and no Mutalisks behind this. It's just a whole bunch of Banelings and some Zerglings. Bomber is going to retreat temporarily. Is he going to get the good splits? A few of the Marines do go down. Great splitting by Bomber, but at the end, there's just too many Banelings. All the Marines are engulfed. But there's only 7 Banelings left. There are still 2 bunkers and 2 Widow Mines. And this is one of the problems. If you don't get rid of the Widow Mines, these Banelings just go down in a flash. One Widow Mine hit can kill 20 Banelings if they're packed tight enough. The Widow Mines are all activated already. 3 of the Banelings do go down. The Zerglings are surrounding the bunker, but the Zerg player has to run away again, and now Bly has a 20 supply disadvantage. And I think that Bly was thinking he could do a lot more damage with those 26 Banelings. He is constructing 13 more, but I don't think these 13 Banelings are going to be able to do enough. Even if there were no bunkers or Widow Mines here, he'd be able to take out this entire mining line, but he'd still be behind. And with so many medevacs and Marines, Bly is going to hang out at the middle of the map. And this is one of the things when you're a Zerg player and you're constantly trying to do timing attacks. As the Banelings do stream in here, the Mines are going to clean up a lot of those Zerglings. Able to stop that 3rd orbital command from starting up. But once again, the Widow Mines are just getting great connections. 10 kills on this one Widow Mine. And that's just been kind of the epitome of this game. The Widow Mines are just getting too many good connections. But as I was saying before, as a Zerg player, when you do a timing attack, or a Terran or Protoss player, sometimes you feel like I didn't do enough damage, and so you have to do another timing attack, and that attack has to do even more damage than what wasn't done in the initial attack. And that's kind of like what happened in this game. Bly did a timing attack. It wasn't that efficient. He did another one, got ahead quite a bit, and then wasn't able to continue with the momentum. And then he kept doing a lot of Baneling all-ins, it looked like. And now it's just waiting for the fat lady to sing one last time. Bomber's got double the supply of our Zerg player, and he's got a drop going on in the main base. The Marines are cleaning up the Zerglings. Zerglings are finally going to be able to get rid of all those Marines. We've got another medevac drop going to the 3rd base of Bly's. There are no defenses here. And so Bly is going to retreat with all these drones. So this hatchery is going to be sacrificed. Bly is trying to figure out what he can do. But you really can't defeat Terran players with just Zerglings and Banelings. You need something else. And this composition, this army is virtually all Banelings. And now the Widow Mines are going to get some connections. I'm really interested to see. There we go. 3 of the Banelings are gone. There go the another 3. All the Banelings are finished off by the Marines. We got a few more coming in here. They were late to the party, and they're not even going to kill 2 Marines. They're only able to kill 1, so Bly is going to have to tap out. So game 1 does go to Bomber in this best of 3. We'll have to see if Bly can bounce back in the next game. Is he going to all in again? Is he going to go macro game? We're going to have to find out, so I'll see you guys there.